I wanted to really choose a time period where I was at my lowest, and I really wanted to choose a sad time period, actually. And I ended up choosing 2016, and I found that 2016 I was in 6th grade, and I found that it was a really bad year for me starting off because I didn't have any real friendships or, relationships that I felt like that were like real and that I could latch onto, and people that I could trust. And so I ended up choosing that, and I wanted to portray that starting off with my facial expressions being very upset and a frown on my face. And you can tell that from the beginning, and I feel like I look a lot younger, which you'll be able to see the difference later, and you can see that for yourself. But I really wanted to show that I felt really upset on that level. And then you can see that I'm looking over at this, black void. And I felt like I wanted to use this void to represent the lack of friendships and relationships I had at that time period and how I felt really low because I was lacking those. And so I'm looking over there with a sad face. And on top of that, the entire project is basically in black and white. This piece of the project is in black and white because I felt like it was a very, black and white time where it was just sad. I feel like I lacked color in my life. And I used newspaper in the back because I wanted it to represent all the voices kind of garble happening in my life that I felt like was just like a mess in my head. I didn't feel like it made much sense, and I just wanted to use a lot of words. I wanted to put a lot of words in the background to kind of just make it, it felt very jumbled in my head, and I wanted to represent that in the background. And then you can also see that there's 2 headlines, which I wanted to kind of place what time period this was, and those also did affect me. One of them being Trump going into office was a very hard time, especially on me and so many other people, so many people. But I did feel like it really did impact me, and that kind of just added to it all. So I wanted this to portray a very sad time in my life for the first piece. You can see from the get-go with this piece that it is much brighter. There's a lot more happening, and it's a very bright piece compared to the other, which was in black and white. With me, I felt like I portrayed myself in a much happier light, but I did still bring over the black and white lines. I wanted to show that I still have the makeup that I had back then, and I still am that girl, but I am a much happier version of who I was in 2016. And this time, you can kind of see without the void, there are hands reaching down with phones, and I wanted these to represent the voices and people that are there for me now and the friends and relationships I do have. And I thought I really wanted this piece to have those there to show that I had people. You can also see that there's circles in the background. The circles were kind of just an aesthetic choice. I didn't have a meaning with the circles. I included drawings to add more to the background and show that there's still a lot happening in my life. But I really wanted, first of all, for this piece to show that there was a lot more color in my life now, which is a lot different than how I was, a couple years ago back in 2016, where I felt like I really lacked the color that I have now. And I'm really happy that I have these things, because without these people and relationships, I wouldn't be who I was today. And I wouldn't be the happy person that I am today. And I think that that quarantine and 2020 really did push these things, and the people that I became closer with are now my really close friends, which I kind of didn't have pre-2020. Despite everything that really did happen, I did come out of it with these things and ended up being a happier person.